Hello, welcome to Dungeoneers Pack, a channel bringing you player-focused discussions and character guides for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. My name is Josh, thank you for watching. The idea for player options based around runes and giants has been stuck in development for quite some time. With the release of Tasha's, the once separate ideas have been merged together as a new subclass option for the fighter. In this video, I'm going to take a look at the Rune Knight Fighter's defining features, discuss ways you can use the themes of this subclass to develop your character, provide some ways you can reflavor this subclass, and give you some ideas on how you can play the Rune Knight in the official 5th edition settings. With that said, let's get started. The Rune Knight has two key features that you receive immediately when you choose this subclass as a 3rd level fighter. Rune Carver is the feature that will grant a character the ability to enchant their equipment with runes to provide spell-like abilities, and Giant's Might will allow your character to manifest giant-flavored enhancements. First, let's take a closer look at Rune Carver. The feature presents us with 6 runes that we can place on a weapon, suit of armor, shield, piece of jewelry, or any other equipment we can wear or hold. The runes are based on the 6 different giant types. At the start, we can choose 2 out of the 4 runes. That would be Cloud, Fire, Frost, and Stone. At level 7, we can add Hill and Storm among the remaining rune options to choose from. Despite there being a total of 6 runes we can pick from, we can only collect a total of 5 throughout this character's progression in the subclass. Each rune has a passive and activated ability. The passive abilities commonly provide advantage to specific skill checks, with a select few providing expertise on ability checks using tools or advantage on saving throws. The activated abilities, on the other hand, provide spell-like abilities that are for the most part defensive or utility options, with a single option providing any sort of offensive bonus. The runes are easily the more evocative and interesting feature for the subclass, as it provides the fighter passive options that can make them more active in specific roleplay or skill-based encounters, while also providing a range of spell-like abilities that can make the fighter feel more dynamic in combat. Unfortunately, beyond this initial feature, a majority of abilities in this subclass enhance the Giant's Might feature. The only feature that provides a boost to our runes is Master of Ruins, which will allow us to activate our rune magic twice instead of once, but we don't get this feature until level 15. Now let's take a look at Giant's Might. Giant's Might is our offensive power boost that also lets us take on some giant-like qualities. We grow to large size no matter if we are small or medium. We have advantage on strength checks and saving throws, and once during our turn, one attack we make deals an additional 1d6 damage. To put it simply, Giant's Might is a variation of the enlarged portion of the enlarged reduce spell. As previously mentioned, a majority of this subclass's features enhance this feature by increasing the size of the damage die and eventually allowing us to grow to the huge size. If we pair Giant's Might with the enlarged reduce spell, we can grow to gargantuan size when we hit level 18. While the size changing ability is the most interesting aspect of Giant's Might, overall it is a very straightforward offensive upgrade that doubles down on the fighter's frontliner combat role. The subclass features are really trying to nail down some specific themes that will be familiar to longtime and new players of the franchise. From what I see, there are 3 themes from this subclass that you can use to help develop your character. The first theme we can tinker with is the idea of this character using magic runes or ancient writing to empower them. Even though the runes are tied to the various giant types, we can always reflavor the runes to be an ancient language from another high intelligent creature. I'll go into more detail on this later in the video. The use of magic writing can encourage a more scholarly character. Consider taking the Arcana skill, and if possible, gain proficiency with calligrapher's tools. Also, using the sage or archaeologist background paired with the Rune Knight could also help you play an adventuring scholar. The second theme will enable us to incorporate a bit of real-world influence into our character. Runic writing is synonymous with Vikings, so we can take inspiration from Viking culture, whether it be from their depiction in popular culture or from the history books. Vikings are known to be a seafaring people, so a perfect way to portray this aspect of their culture is to take the sailor background. If you don't want your character to be the standard Viking warrior, consider modeling the character after a skald, a Viking poet whose runic writing is your ability to draw upon the power from the stories of heroes of the past. To pull off the skald, it's as easy as gaining proficiency with the performance and history skills. The last theme would place a character deep into D&D's giant lore. The giant identity is heavily baked into the subclass, with the Giant's Might feature and the subsequent features supporting it. In order to play up the giant identity, there are 2 races that are closely associated with them. Consider playing as a Goliath or a Furbolg and really leverage your character's giant ancestry. You could also consider playing a dwarf who belongs to a clan that has ties to a time when giants enslaved them. They use the giant's own power to fight them. Now here are a couple of ways you can take this subclass and reflavor it. If you are not too keen on the Rune Knight's identity being associated with giants, consider using dragons instead. In many settings, dragons are highly intelligent and have immense magical capabilities, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for them to create a magical language. The runes can instead be tied to any of the various dragon types in D&D, whether they be chromatic or metallic. The giant flavored features in this subclass could just be your character manifesting aspects of a dragon. If you want to further move away from the giant mechanics, speak with your DM to alter the enlargement effect by replacing it with mechanics found in dragon-related races and subclasses. Instead of growing in size, maybe we could have a breath weapon like the Dragonborn, or as we gain levels, we can eventually grow wings and learn to fly. Another way to reflavor this subclass is to have it tied to a fallen or forgotten civilization in the campaign setting. That civilization could have destroyed themselves with powerful magic, and the Rune Knight is from a clan or tribe that are descendants from them. The runes are part of a lost language, while the giant powers could be the character's bloodline manifesting. The last way to reflavor this subclass will cement your race choice, as the subclass is perfect if you want to play a Durgar dwarf. The runes are the result of your own craftsmanship as a runesmith, and the giant-like abilities are instead an expansion to your own racial ability to grow in size. Now let's take a look at how we can play this subclass in the various 5th edition settings. In Forgotten Realms, we could be an exiled Goliath fighter who uses the runic power of their tribe and their giant ancestry to survive in hopes that one day they can return home. In Eberron, this is perfect for a warforged that was created using ancient magic from the giants of Zendrick. Without a purpose, they travel Corvair embracing their newfound freedom. In Ravnica, we can use a reskinned Goliath or the lineage rules to play an ogre from the Gruul clans who is empowered by the runes of the forgotten gods of Ravnica's past. And finally in Theros, this could be a warrior blessed with enchantments from the gods and must continue their journey to complete the ordeals to receive more of these gifts to defeat a great beast before it destroys the plane. The Rune Knight takes two ideas and attempts to merge them into one concept. The mechanics make it look like this subclass is being pulled in two directions. The runes add some customization to the fighter and are the most interesting mechanic for the subclass. The passive ability allows the fighter to do more than just be the person that hits things, while the activated abilities grant them some spell-like options. If wizards would have expanded on the rune abilities, I believe the subclass could have been a viable alternative to the Eldritch Knight Fighter. Unfortunately, this isn't the case. Instead, the giant flavored features make up most of the mechanics for this subclass. Giant's Might and its upgrades are simple to understand, but don't do anything exciting beyond granting the ability to change your character size. Despite ruins being associated with giants in the franchise's lore, the mechanics do not have a cohesiveness, and it is apparent that the designers had two ideas and were struggling to find a place for them in the game. This subclass could have been split into two, one that focuses on runes and another one that uses giant-like abilities. Either way, if you're looking for a way to play a character that can wield the power of giants, the Rune Knight Fighter will get you there. With that said, I want to hear from you. What do you think of the Rune Knight Fighter? Let me know down in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, I drop a video every week, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're wanting to play a character that can control the results of their dice rolls, check out my character build featuring the Divination Wizard and Trickery Domain Cleric classes. You can click on the video on the screen to see what abilities you need to take to be a gambling con man. Alright, I'm out of here. Have a good one.